Today, on the Tom Kearin Channel, the only thing that determines if you manifest your desires. I am your host, Tom Kearin, and this is the Tom Kearin Channel in studios at Be Something Wonderful, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creators, good morning and welcome back to the Tom Kearin Channel. The question came up, Tom, what really determines if I manifest my desires? The question came up related to a video that we recently released on the Be Something Wonderful channel entitled, Who Gets the Dream? The Truth About Manifesting the Same Thing. And we answered the question that someone asked, well, what if me and my friend are manifesting the same specific person, or the same job opportunity, or the same competition for a lottery or to win something? Who wins? Who gets it? Who gets the SP? Who gets the house? Who gets the money if we're all manifesting the same thing? And we talked about that idea that in your reality, there's no competition. You're not manifesting the same thing. You're creating versions of people, events, and circumstances that seem to be manifesting the same thing, but you decide. The only thing, the only one that determines what you manifest and whether it will manifest is you. It's not the processes, it's not the techniques, it's not how you feel, it's not how you think. All of those things are concessions or ideas, and it's no one else in your reality that determines it. It's only you. I want to show this today. Then the idea came up, well, but aren't we sharing a physical reality? There's only you and your physical reality and your projection and your reflection. You create a reality. You create others, versions of others, that you create the idea of sharing it with them. But they're not sharing it with you. There's not a shared reality. It's your reflection. It's your projection. That you're creating versions of the people, events, and circumstances that seem to be, or appear to be, sharing in your physical reality. But they're from your assumptions, your viewpoints, your definitions and beliefs of who you are in your reality. You create all of that. And you're never manifesting the same thing. And what others are manifesting is irrelevant, because you create those versions of them manifesting. There's absolutely no competition. We showed this in that video very powerfully. But today I really want to, and then the question came up, well, then what really determines if I will manifest my desires? You do. Your decision. Your decision to be that version that you desire to be. Nothing that you have done before, nothing that you will do after determines anything. Because nothing before now matters and nothing after now matters. It's only now, in every moment, you're determining it. And you might say, well, I'm been assuming, but nothing happened. But you're creating that idea from this perspective, this viewpoint. The assumption of who you are right now creates that entire reality. Past, present, and future. You create a past where you never manifested. A present where it's still not manifesting, and a future where it's unlikely to manifest because that's what you're declaring. There's nothing but you and your assumption of who you are right now. That creates it all. I want to show this today like we never have before. The only thing that determines if your desires will manifest is you and your decision, your assumption that it's done. Your decision, your assumption that you're already that person you desire to be. Right? And you go, okay, I'm assuming it. Where is it? That's why. Because you're now creating a reality where it's not done. Where you're not it. You're it. Remember, reality is changing every moment. By whom and what you say you are. So here you are as all that is. I've showed this idea before. I'm showing a few colors here. One will represent you, as I did in yesterday's video, the blue. The green will be your friend. The brown will be a specific person. The orange will be others, everybody else in that reality. But I want to start with I am, the great I am, the one divine mind, the one consciousness, the one awareness. the one ultimate reality that we call God or existence, that's all potential to be anything. And we're going to go from your perspective. From your perspective, you are all versions of you. They all exist here and now. All possibilities. All versions of experiences exist here and now. You as all that is, remember, it's all that is creating and seeing the world through you, experiencing itself from infinite perspectives, and you're one of those. But from your perspective, you are all that is. You create all these other points of view or perspectives. Because it only matters, every single one of you are all that is. So it's always from your perspective as all that is. There you are. And then you have your manifesting physical experience. There you are in the middle. There's your specific person, and there's your friend. You create the versions of them. Whether you're with the specific person or you're friends with a specific person is up to you. Your assumptions, your decision. You see, there's your physical reality. I have them as question marks. Because how they appear in your reality, in your reflection, your projection, is your decision. There is no other. And at the same time, all that is, from their perspectives, look at your specific person. It would be them now, from their perspective, where you would be a version, where you would be a potential version in their reality. And the same with your friend. You'd be a potential version, the SP would be a potential version in their reality. And the same with others. It's all that is experiencing itself from these infinite perspectives. But all that matters from you, these others only exist through your viewpoint, through your perspective. It doesn't mean others are not real. If you are real, your reflection is real. They are real points of consciousness. But from your perspective, you create your reality. There's only ever you in your physical reality or experience. Everything and everybody else is potential, depending on your assumptions, your beliefs, and your definitions. The potential versions of them. Remember, you're not separate from any of it. You're this, and you're this, and you're all of this. Because you're all that is, and you're reflecting this idea that everybody is you pushed out, these other versions of people. The only thing that determines if your desires manifest is your decision. In other words, your clarity, your conviction, your now decision of who you are. Wow. Do you see it? Your now decision, right now. Not the story you're telling about yesterday or 5 years ago or 2 months ago. You're telling that perspective from who you are now. You're making that up as you say it. You might say, no, I got pictures, I got evidence. You're creating all of it, here and now. It's from your now perspective, and that changes everything. So the question is, what about your specific person? What about your friend? How will they show up in your reality? It's all up to you. By who you say you are. It's your reality. There's absolutely no competition. What others are manifesting is irrelevant. That's why I think it's always amusing when people are seeking success stories and going to channels saying, oh, can I manifest this? If you manifested that, then maybe I can. But you're just creating that success story. You're creating a version of them. It's all you. Of course you can. Or you wouldn't be seeing it. You're creating them manifesting what they want. That's all you. Remember, there's no shared physical reality. There's only your projection, your reflection as all that is. There is no objective reality out there. So you create a reality, a physical experience, and you create the idea of sharing that with others. But it's not a shared common collective reality. That's just a concession. That's made up. That's an idea to ease your understanding of all of this. And one of you had a question right before I was about to do this video. And I think it's a great question. I think it was on the Facebook. Our team sent it. I want to answer it today. And remember, I want to get back to this idea that there's no competition. What determines if you manifest your desires? You do. Your decision. Right now, in this moment, in every moment, your decision, your assumptions, your conviction and clarity about who you are determines your entire life experience. It's not the changing thoughts and feelings. It's not the processes and techniques. It's not whether you're in a good mood or a bad mood. All of that's irrelevant. All of that is secondary cause. You are first cause. You get to decide it. I don't care how many talk about subconscious programming, the trying to regulate your nervous system and all that. That's all secondary. You get to determine by your assumption of who you are, regulates everything, rearranges entire worlds. Wow. So the question came up. I want to read this because I think it's a good one. This is what they asked. I heard Tom say that we choose a desired frame of reality to light up, and all others exist in frozen potential. Yes, because remember, here you are is all that is. You light up a frame by your assumptions. Every other possibility exists, so we call those frozen frames of potential. They all exist is all it is, but what only matters is your perspective right now. So let's continue. And they say, I interpreted this to mean that we can only focus on one version of reality at a time, and all others remain darkened or inanimate on the shelf unless we choose them. Again, the idea that they're inanimate or on a shelf is just a concession, a way to understand reality or the frames. But everything exists as potential. There's only light. There's only potential. All those frames when you focus on one, you give it life, your life. Frozen means they're just simply frozen potential to you, latent potential to be anything. But they're all exist right now. It's like the candle being brought into a darkened room. The candle is the source. You are the source. So you can look at it. We have made concessions, give you ideas that it's like that. It could be like that it's on a shelf. And then you say our physically focused selves couldn't handle experiencing all that at once. It's not that it couldn't handle it, right? It's that your physically focused self is a physical certain perspective. It's all perspectives at the same time because you're always all that is. But the physical perspective is a certain experience as all that is. As all that you are, that simultaneous reality. To experience yourself as all that is, you physically focus on an experience. So it's not so much that you couldn't handle it. Yes, there's an idea that your physical mechanism to perceive your reality or to create this experience couldn't handle it, but that's even a limitation. There are no limitations on you. It's just a perspective. We're masters of limitations. Right? We're these infinite beings, infinite spirits that master the idea of creating a limited perspective or viewpoint. But then we over-identify with it and believe that's who we are. And we surrender all that power. Right? That's all it is. It's not even a limitation. It's just a perspective, a viewpoint as you as spirit. So then they say, in a video I watched earlier this week, Tom stated that all versions of us are playing out, and our current version is potential to the others. Well, yes. Do you see that all of these versions exist? All of your lives exist all at once. There's not past lives. There's not future lives. There's all of your lives. We create the idea of past and future. Every single version of you is playing out. In other words, it's all potential, right? It's all potential. And it's potential to this current focus or viewpoint that you are holding. But you're still all of them. They're still you. Right? And even as you have another idea, another version of you, this physically focused you is potential to that version of you. That's the paradox. It's all happening all at once. Right? Remember, physical reality doesn't exist. It's an idea. It's a projection. It's an experience of source, of all that is. So our current version is potential to others. And then you say, whoa, that sounded like something completely different. It's the same thing. It's not different. Again, it's never either or. It's always and. Right? Think of those frozen frames that I was referring to as playing out in potential. But they're potential to you. To this perspective, they give you that idea that they're frozen. Because they're not something you're lighting up from this perspective. But they all exist as all that is. So it's not different. We're just trying to understand it with our limited physical mind. I've heard Tom explain that we sometimes have bleed-overs in deja vu when other versions of us spill into our current awareness. Remember, the idea, when we talk about bleed-overs from realities, we're saying you are all that is. Do you see? All those realities exist, one superimposed over another. That's what deja vu is. That's what a bleed-over is. Because you have an experience, you can experience, remember, you're already experiencing all realities all at once. You're just having a physical perspective or a physical focus where you forget that. Because if you didn't, then you wouldn't be able to experience. Remember, if you're experiencing everything all at once, how do you experience anything specifically? So yes, but yes, it could spill over into your. There's an idea of it spilling over or deja vu. After all, what else could deja vu be? But a version of you that exists right now. Where do you think desires? Where do you think the idea of desiring something? It's that innate impulse as consciousness to be conscious. Of what? Of yourself. There's only you as all that is. To be conscious of what? Of yourself. Of what then? What's that desire for a house? It's someone living in it, right? It's a version of you right now living that life in potential to this viewpoint that you have. Do you see? You are all that is. That's the paradox. It's not either or, it's and. And so on numerous questions, so they have numerous questions. When we're extended in the physical bodies, you're not extended in the physical bodies. You don't extend your physical body is just it's a projection or reflection within your awareness. Just to clear that up. And are endowed with one point of focus. So you're asking, are we, when we're extended in physical bodies, do we have a focal point for each of the infinite versions of us? And they don't normally cross paths except in the case of a spillover. Remember, it's not that they don't cross. You're in all of those realities right now. A spillover is just an experience from this limited physical perspective that you have. We call it a spillover because it's a spillover from this physical perspective. But in the ultimate reality that you're at, there are no spillovers, you're all the same thing. Do you see? So I get your questions, and they're good ones. That's why they sent me this. And then you ask, well, can I choose to shift by placing my attention on 2 points at once? Well, remember, you are doing that all the time. You're moving. In every moment, you're shifting your focus between points between identities. You're never really one identity. You're all identities all at once. It would be crazy. There's so many split personalities there, right? You're everything. And you're saying, I'm getting silly, a lot of questions here, but you were just trying to understand whether all versions of us or only one can be active at a time. That's the question. That was after all those questions. But remember, what do we mean by that? Because you are right now that superimposed infinite being having a certain perspective or viewpoint. All of those are active within you. In other words, you're never separate from any of them. That's why do you think you have a sudden thought or a sudden feeling? Or maybe you're about to take a right and you have a feeling to take a left, right, left, right? All of those are coming from all the infinite versions of you. All of those, they're all of you. right? That this is you right now. So it's not really about trying. Remember, when you're trying to think about it and control it from a limited physical perspective. Instead, know that you're all of this. That's what we're talking about today. But remember, when it really gets down to it, what do we want? We want what we want. We want our desires. I want to just be clear here, and I was really clear in the video this morning on the Be Something Wonderful channel. No one is ever depriving you or denying you of anything. Only you can. It's not about finding the right process or technique or teacher or even coach, right? Or YouTube channel or book or text. It's about you making the decision from knowing that you are first cause. You are the one and only creator and source of your reality. That this is who I am now. This is the experience that I desire to have, and I'm going to be that version of me for whom and through whom that's real. No matter what is going on out there in the appearances, in the apparent out there. No matter what thoughts or feelings come up. No matter what I believe has happened as I tell the story of my past. I am new right now, and only my decision determines if my desires manifest. Only I do. Because there is no other. Yeah. I am your host, Tom Kearin, and this is the Tom Kearin Channel and studios at Be Something Wonderful, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creators, thank you. Thank you for that powerful question. Hopefully we got to it, but remember, we get to it in every video. And so be sure to check out Be Something Wonderful. There's a couple of videos there that will tie loose ends up, if there are loose ends there for you. But remember, nothing's keeping you from this. It's only your decision ever. It's only ever a choice. Sunday, we're going to have our live event where I answer your questions live. So if you still have questions, come to the live event. That's on the Be Something Wonderful membership channel. With great love, with great light and infinite gratitude, this is Tom Kearin here on the Tom Kearin Channel in the studios of Be Something Wonderful. Until next time, we'll see you soon.